The sacred classroom is the spiritual and pedagogical foundation of Creative School. Most of the times, pedagogy just involves the approaches to actually teaching a subject and does not take into account who the teacher is. A teacher's consciousness, their inner state of being, just as much affects the class. So the sacred classroom takes this into account. So who the teacher is, what the teacher is going through, what is their mindset, what is their consciousness like, really has an impact on the classroom, and that's what is addressed through the sacred classroom.
The sacred classroom and Life and Living is a wonderful retreat that came out of almost 15 years of exploration of education, both in the United States as well as in India. I wandered across both countries, visiting in the United States many different private schools, democratic schools, Montessori schools, Waldorf schools, public schools, trying to understand education more deeply, and worked with setting up schools in underprivileged sections in India, both in the villages as well as in cities, which would help children go through a good education so that they feel empowered. The key word is empower. I always looked at how can education empower children, and in my long search, I actually came to a conclusion that truly education doesn't always empower and give us all the skills we need to navigate life as a whole. Education is not always life-centric. It teaches us skills to get a job. It teaches us skills in areas of our passion, our interest, but it often disconnects us from ourselves. As I studied different types of schooling, I realized and came to a conclusion that education on the whole tends to disconnect us from ourselves. It makes us focus outside and often disconnects us from who we are, what is happening inside us. We lose our self-awareness in the process of modern day education. We lose, noticing what is it that are our needs, what is it that is actually moving us, what is happening inside us. And often, we give in to peer pressure, or we're looking mainly at external success. And my long journey through education, as well as my own spiritual transformation, which is the inner transformation I went through as I really learned to connect to myself, to understand myself, and experience the fullness of who I am, really became a motivating force for me to recreate a system that would retain connection with ourselves, increase our own awareness, and grow in consciousness, not just for children, but most importantly for teachers. The Sacred Classroom in Life and Living is a training program that treats every teacher taking part as a human being. This is not just about what we do to children, but how do we honor ourselves? How do we respect ourselves? How do we care for ourselves as complete human beings? Because children learn from who we are, not just what we say or do. The Sacred Classroom Life and Living is a wonderful opportunity for teachers to connect deeply with themselves. to explore themselves, respect themselves, care for themselves, as well as learn how to work with children in age appropriate ways so children too can treat themselves as whole human beings, not just human bodies, but human beings. So the entire program is a series of well-being tools, well-being experiences. It's experiences of deeply connecting with yourself, learning how to honor yourself and children as whole human beings, developing socio-emotional intelligence, really growing in emotional intelligence, giving the base foundation to help yourself as well as children in the classroom. How to develop self-awareness and emotional intelligence, how to take care of ourselves as physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual beings. By spiritual, it's a truly secular system which has nothing to do with any one religion, but really the core of who we are, the core of our spirit. We also learn how to relate with others. And yes, all of this is explored over a period of 5 days. It's a rich opportunity for inner transformation for teachers, while at the same time learning how to work with children. It's a safe, comfortable, very vulnerable environment where we reach and touch our own inner core with deep respect. It's a space of unconditional love. It's a space of friendship. It's a space of deep respect. It's a space of awareness. It's a space of growing in consciousness. Welcome to the Sacred Classroom and Life and Living Retreat.